This
Okay.
was cleaned with coin cleaner, which is not supposed to be a bad thing.
What is your advice for people who have numismatic coins, Tim? Should they clean them in any way, shape, or form?
Well,
Buy your precious metals online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold and silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new.
so we had a lot of people selling yesterday. And a record breaker. I can't even guess what the markets are going to do, but you know, I'm in. My perpetual opinion is that it's going to drop, and every now and then we get a drop, but then the hedge funds decide it's time to cover the short. That's the problem.
We got somebody in here as well that's going to be, I think, selling.
I am selling 2 Krugerrands.
Can I see?
Sure. 1977s.
Yeah, I got to check and make sure they're genuine.
You already checked them once, but you can check them again.
No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
I check them. Check them.
This is one of my best customers, by the way.
Ooh. Nice.
Yes.
And you're selling.
I'm selling.
Why?
Well, I figure I'd help my
genuine.
kids out.
That's how you test now, Tim?
Yeah.
Old school. Well, so, I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to help my kids out.
And how do you view this stuff?
I view it as an investment, and, a wealth builder. You know, I mean, I've been buying
Really?
silver and gold for a while. What I paid for those, I think 3 or 4 years ago, I'm hoping to make at least 500 on each one of them.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Tim, how do you pronounce these gold coins?
Krugerrand.
Say that again?
Krugerrand. Is Johann Kruger, and their monetary measure is a rand, so it's a Krugerrand. That's why it has 2 R's in it. I've said on many videos that I test everything that comes in,
Yeah.
and at one time they caught me not testing it.
That one time we caught Tim.
Yeah. They passed, right?
Yeah, they
Okay,
passed.
good.
Okay, let's see how much this is going to cost me today.
Well, if you have a 1909 SVDB, maybe we can do some horse trading.
Do you have a 1909 SV?
Yeah, I do. I wonder if it's downstairs.
That's
It might
my
be
dream
downstairs.
penny. Do you have one already?
No, I don't. No, my grandfather. I had a paper route when I was a kid. My grandfather used to. He had a real good coin collection, and so on pay night I'd go down and he'd go through all my change. He'd say, "This is a good one. This is a good one. I'm taking this one. I'm taking that one."
This
Okay.
was cleaned with coin cleaner, which is not supposed to be a bad thing.
Okay.
But when NGC got a hold of it, they said improperly cleaned. Well,
So not all cleaning is cleaning. Is that what you're saying?
well, you can look at it with a magnifier and tell me if you think it was improperly cleaned.
Well,
I think it's the fact that it leaves kind of a shine and a protective oil on it. I think that's why they called it improper.
oh, so they saw indications.
Do you want to look?
Oh, do I ever? This is my dream coin as a kid. I always wanted to
Get
have.
this gold out of the way. I'm looking at my own ISVDB.
Man,
Do you see it? See the VDB?
man, yeah. There it is. Yep, I do. Wow. What is your advice for people who have numismatic coins, Tim? Should they clean them in any way, shape, or form?
Well,
Oh boy. When I heard that long pause to my question, I knew Tim was about to drop one bomb of an answer. You silver stackers, and especially you coin collectors out there, are probably going to blow a gasket when you hear what Tim has to say next. But before I get to that, I got to give you a brief mid-roll update by a sponsor of mine, Vizsla Silver. And please don't skip ahead, because I really think this is one of the best silver resource companies I've ever shared with you. And I told you about Vizsla before Christmas. I told you I was going to buy some Vizsla shares after that video dropped. And I did. They're on the New York Stock Exchange, ticker symbol VZLA. Now, I know many of you just want to hear what Tim has to say next, but just 3 bullet points on Vizsla, really quick. Vizsla's flagship resource, Panuco, is estimated to produce 15.2 million ounces equivalent of this stuff per year, According to the PEA, Panuco has an all-in sustaining cost of, get this, $9.40. That's almost half of their average peer, who has to spend like $17 to produce an ounce of silver. That makes it one of the largest undeveloped silver assets in the world, if not the largest. Now, no guarantees with these early assessments, but they point to this resource's amazing potential. Number two, a year ago, to the day, their price was $1.16 US. Last Friday, I bought in at just over $1.71 per share. Here's my actual trade confirmation from my broker. However, analysts see $2.75, $3.75 a share. The highest analyst target is over $4.50 a share US. Number three, investors. Two big notable ones, Franklin Templeton and Eric Sprott. Whales, people. Do you see why I became a shareholder last week? In my opinion, this is the best mining stock I've ever shared with you. A world-class deposit with no debt and plans to go into production within 2 years. 2 years. Now, I'm reminding you about Vizsla Silver early on a Friday, so you can have the entire weekend to do your due diligence and read up on them. So please do that. Check out the links in the description below. Read up on Vizsla and do it before the New York Stock Exchange opens on Monday. All right, let's get back to Tim.
Every supplies dealer used to sell coin cleaner. And it's not supposed to be damaging to the coin. You use a Q-tip, and it does have a very light machine oil. So after you clean all the gunk off, it probably has something, I don't know, a solvent plus the machine oil. So, you take any of the junk off of the coin, and it would leave a light film in the machine oil so it wouldn't corrode. Because once you use a solvent, you're now exposing it to the environment with no protection. Most pennies are protected by oils from your hands. So
Right. This is circulated coin at one point.
it is a circulated coin. Yeah. So I guess the jury is still out as to what's acceptable and what isn't. But you're not going to get anything by a grader, and they protect themselves by grading the details. and then you got to make a decision whether you like the coin or not.
The short answer, though, is don't clean numismatic coins.
Well, I could tell you about some situations where coins were sent back by one of the graders, I won't name which one, and the owner he said, he used the B word, that's, and so we took Q-tips and a little bit of cleaner, and we spent the evening cleaning every single one of these. He sent them all back in. They all came back 66 or better.
Wow.
So it depends on what you use and how you use it.
How you do
I
it.
remember
Right.
my grandfather used to tell me, don't clean anything. I took a penny and a pencil eraser and I cleaned it all up with a
Oh, that's a good.
it
That makes it
looked
shine out,
beautiful,
really.
but he wasn't happy.
I bet he wasn't.
It was back in the 40s, and I remember my penny collection as a kid. Everybody cleaned the coins because they look better.
Yeah.
And it's
I
only,
did.
Yeah.
when I started in this business, oh gosh, probably almost 50 years ago, things had changed. And I noticed that right away, things had changed. It used to be, well, you got a little gunk in that coin. I'm not interested in that one. I'll take this one that's nice and clean. And but those days are gone.
Yeah.
And there are, the grading services do have restoration services. And so my question is, how's that any different? But, and I have a coin that I submitted to one of the graders back in the 80s, right after they started. And it's almost black now. It's because the original holder they made for these didn't protect the coin. And this is it's a fairly rare coin.
What is it? Is it the 20-cent piece?
Nobody will remember that then from that grader, but it's yes, a 20-cent piece. It's
Yes.
a 75 Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
They hardly made any. Well,
Yeah.
most of them were made in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
Carson
I
City.
do have a 1876S.
Yeah, most of them came
26
from San
piece.
Francisco. They also had a fair number in 75 or 7. 75 was from Carson City.
Oh, yeah.
But this one's from Philadelphia. They made like 39,000, only put 36 into circulation. So
And you
it's-
promised to show me that at some point, didn't you?
Yeah, it's I do have that somewhere.
I only need one more penny. And,
You only need one more penny in your collection?
right. And it's a 22. It's a 22.
22 plain.
Plain.
I think I have a book upstairs that has a 22 plane. And those, you almost have to have them certified.
Yeah.
But you look with a high enough magnification, you can tell if the metal has been disturbed. But it's one of the easiest ones for a good jeweler with a jeweler's torch, and there are a lot of this other stuff. They could probably duplicate one.
Right.
But I think the one that I have upstairs is probably genuine and clean. Nice clean coin.
Nice.
Well, the pennies, people bring in pennies all the time. And I say, dealers don't buy striking errors. We buy listed errors. And that is everything, whatever's in every price guide. That's the error that you want to buy.
Right.
In the 55 double die,
Yeah.
there are several
Actually, I
with
don't
them.
have one of those, so
Listen, that's the only listed error that I can see with my eyes without even putting my glasses on.
they do have some ones that are it was a double die, but it's not a real 55 double die.
They call it a poor man's double die.
Poor man's double die.
It is just a stutter strike on the last five.
Right.
And that doesn't qualify.
Yeah.
They made a lot of coins in 55.
Yeah.
But the 55 double die is quite impressive.
You
It's
have
like,
one?
no, I'm pretty sure I don't.
You're quite the collector, aren't you? You're not just a stacker of gold and silver. You
No,
love to collect.
I just started stacking, 2006, 2007. Before that, I mean, I've had a coin collection since I was probably 8, 10 years old.
There's one thing that's true about coin collectors. The older you get, the less you worry about what you're buying.
It's true.
And I would say that you're going to get a lot of comments, Tim, saying, do not clean your coins. They're going to hammer you, bro.
Well,
They really are. I'm telling you right now. I can see the comments.
I'm not advocating you clean your coins, but I have seen situations where it didn't hurt. In fact, it helped.
Wow.
But if you clean anything, it doesn't matter if you use a solvent that doesn't remove the toning, but a Q-tip. You don't want to use anything stronger than a Q-tip. And I'm not trying to advertise for that company.
No, I
what
get
they
you.
call
Yeah.
those things.
Wow.
Swabs, I guess.
Just, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it, is the bottom line for me, right?
It's true. That is true.
Well, I wouldn't dip a penny in Tarnax or whatever that stuff is. If you do any cleaning and you remove the toning, you've already ruined the coin.
So what is the value of this right now?
Well, I can look at I don't have a red book to look into, so I'll use the Gray Sheets guide here.
The gray sheet's better than the red book, no? More up to
The
date.
price is usually quite a bit lower.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
You're happy about that?
I'm happy about that, yeah.
Okay, VG8 is, what, did he assign a number to it? No, it's just VG details. Huh? Would be 880, and if you get details, you probably want to knock it down a grade, but there's only one more grade to knock it down to, and that's 795, so it's in the range.
Okay, whatever you think's fair is fair with me.
Yeah, I think knocking it down $100 is fine. That would be 775.
Okay, sounds good. People think you're crazy, but I spend $775 for a penny, but
So what else are you going to spend your money
yeah,
on?
right. That's right.